So, we really need to talk about that start of meeting ritual. You know the one.
Oh, yeah, the whole cable scramble.
Exactly. You walk in, you're ready to present, and suddenly you are wrestling this absolute hydra of adapters.
Right, because someone has HDMI, somebody else,
Only has USB-C.
yeah, and the guest speaker is on some lockdown laptop. Basically, nothing connects to the main screen.
It's the ultimate bring your own device nightmare.
It really is. I mean, it creates instant friction. You completely lose the room before you even get through your first slide.
Which is exactly why we're doing this deep dive. Today, we are looking at a piece of hardware designed specifically to kill that friction.
The Zenty ZT-326 QuickShare wireless presentation system receiver.
Right. And the mission here for you listening is simple. We want to see if one single box can actually solve this BYOD dilemma without requiring a frantic call to IT.
On the surface, it is a wireless receiver. But looking at the specs from HDTV Supply, this is not just your basic screen mirroring tool.
No, the output resolution caught my eye immediately. It claims to upscale content to 4K at 60 Hz.
And that 60 hertz part is the really critical metric there. A lot of wireless systems can push pixels, but they struggle hard with frame rates.
Oh, for sure.
If you have ever tried to play a video clip, or even just move your mouse across a wireless display and it feels like it's swimming in molasses.
Ugh, it makes the whole presentation feel cheap.
Exactly. By upscaling to 4K at 60 hertz, the Zenty ensures that if marketing plays a 1080p video ad, it's actually fluid. If you are scrolling through a spreadsheet, the text stays crisp and the motion is smooth.
It bridges the gap between a standard laptop output and those massive high-end displays we're seeing in boardrooms now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how the signal actually gets there, though, because usually wireless presentation is code for, please download this sketchy executable file onto your computer.
The classic app fatigue problem.
Hmm.
But the Zenty bypasses that entirely for most users by supporting native protocols.
So like AirPlay.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone, you use AirPlay, Android, or Windows. You use Miracast or Chromecast.
Nice.
You don't need to install anything. The receiver just looks like another screen your device can already see.
Okay, that covers the internal employees. But what about the external vendor who comes in with a corporate laptop that is locked down tighter than Fort Knox?
Right, they can't just cast to a strange network.
Exactly.
That is where the hardware dongles come into play. Zenty offers an HDMI version, the ZT-QSH10, and a USB-C version, the QSC10.
So you literally just plug it in.
You physically plug it into the laptop, and it acts as a transmitter. It creates a point-to-point connection without needing admin rights or network passwords.
It essentially creates a physical easy button for the absolute most difficult device in the room.
It really does.
Having options is good. But I need to challenge one of the specs here. The sheet says this system supports up to 16 devices connected simultaneously.
Which sounds a bit crazy.
It sounds less like a meeting and more like a chaotic free-for-all. Why would you ever want 16 open connections?
Well, you wouldn't if they were all live on screen at once. That 16 device capacity is actually the queue. This is where the moderator mode becomes vital.
Cool.
Without it, you risk the accidental cast where someone tries to share a graph but accidentally broadcasts their personal email or a private chat to the entire room.
The absolute classic nightmare scenario.
Right. So moderator mode gives you a preview function. You can see who is connected and what they would show before ever approving it for the main display.
Oh, so it turns the chaos into a curated flow of information.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense for control. But once you do approve them, there is this quad view feature where you can show 4 devices at once. Is that actually useful, or is it just a gimmick to look cool?
No, it is incredibly useful for overcoming cognitive bias. Think about a standard presentation. You show slide A, talk about it, then switch to slide B.
Yeah.
By the time you are looking at B, you are relying solely on your memory of A. That is recency bias. Quad view lets you put the Q1 sales data right next to the Q2 projections and the marketing spend.
So you can actually cross-reference in real time.
You're comparing data, not memories of data.
Yeah.
It changes the decision-making dynamic completely. Plus, with the whiteboard and annotation features, you can mark up those 4 screens live.
I assume running 4K upscaling and managing 16 connections takes some serious juice. This isn't running off a watch battery.
No, definitely not, but it is PoE supported.
Power over Ethernet, which is a huge win for the installation side of things.
Huge.
You aren't hunting for a spare power outlet behind a wall-mounted TV. You just run the Ethernet cable and you're done.
It keeps the setup so clean. And when you are deploying hardware like this across an enterprise, reliability is the other half of the equation. HDTV Supply backs this with a 5-year Zenty warranty and lifetime tech support.
That is significant. Usually with sub-$1,000 hardware, and this is listing at $699.99, with a potential 25% discount code floating around out there,
Right.
you expect a good luck note in the box and a 90-day guarantee.
It definitely signals confidence in the build quality. And looking at the feedback from verified buyers like Howard and Jeffrey C., the deployment is smooth. They cite easy checkout and excellent performance.
Which suggests the plug-and-play claim actually holds up in the wild. It seems like the Zenty ZT-326 is really just trying to make the technology invisible.
Exactly.
It handles the resolution, the multiple users, and the security so that you can just talk to each other.
That is the mark of good infrastructure. It gets out of the way.
But that leads to an interesting thought to wrap up on for you listening at home.
It raises a pretty provocative question. As systems like this become the standard, where 16 people can connect instantly, and everything looks like 4K cinema.
Does the excuse of technical difficulties finally disappear from the corporate world?
Or will we just have to admit that the meeting itself was the problem?
I think we all know the answer to that one. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Catch you next time.